Hey sis, hey. If you've heard about Sistahbiz, then you already know we're basically a strategy lab for Black women founders. Everything we do in Sistahbiz centers around two things, knowing your numbers and knowing your plan. And we spend most of our time at Sistahbiz creating a space for Black women to build profitable business models, like be really strategic about the business models that they're building. But more importantly, we help them work the game plan and bring those models to life. And so from our work groups to our co-working spaces, our strategy labs, we're all about game planning and execution. And so today's episode is one of my favorites because this is us in our bag. It's what we do, it's who we are. In this episode, I'm calling out some of y'all. I am. I'm calling out some of y'all. And I'm calling out the ones who are doing everything except what's in the game plan. Sis, your business does not need another strategy. It needs you to ride hard for the ones you already committed to. And so in this episode, I'm going to call out what's really going on when you keep jumping from plan to plan. It's what I call shiny object syndrome. It's stalling your growth, it's draining your energy, it's keeping your revenue inconsistent. And we're going to talk about it. I'm breaking down 7 warning signals that I often see when Black women entrepreneurs are ditching their plans prematurely. And if that's you, I'm gonna walk you through how to stop the self-sabotage. So, if you've been stuck in a cycle of starting over, if you're the type of person that's like scrapping strategy, pivoting every time something new pops into your feed, knock it off. This episode is your intervention. I say it what I say it. So let's get into it. All right. So our 7 warning signals. One, you confuse inspiration with strategy. I see this a lot. I see, especially my founders who are online a lot, who they're online, they're consuming too much content, they're looking at their competitors' stuff, they're on TikTok, IG, webinars all the time, and all that does is make every new idea feel urgent. Just because it's a good idea, because if it's because it's inspiring, it doesn't mean it belongs in your plan right now. And so one is you're confusing inspiration with strategy. Two is you're addicted to the high of the start. And so starting is sexy. Finishing, that's grown woman stuff right there. And what I see is a lot of founders getting that dopamine hit from new launches, but then they bail out when execution gets boring or slow. You can't do that. You got to follow through in order to see the results. And sometimes follow through means that you have to test stuff and you have to revise stuff and you have to rework stuff and you have to study stuff. And you can't bail out before you get an ROI on your idea. Number 3 is you haven't made peace with slow growth. And so I just see a lot of our founders just they want that those instant results and that kind of short-term gratification, or they're over it. And so they, really give up before they're going to see any type of results in their business. It takes a lot on the front end to get the rewards on the back end. And so impatience is sometimes disguised as a pivot or a switch in strategy. Number 4 is you don't trust the plan you made. Now, if you're in Sister Biz or if you're working with a coach or yourself and you've built out a game plan, a strategic plan for the year, a business plan for the business, you likely took some good time to sit down and build a solid strategy. Why don't you trust it anymore? And so sometimes self-doubt creeps in, perfectionism creeps in, and founders start second guessing everything and start moving and pivoting before they get an opportunity to really work the strategy that they have in front of them. Number 5 is you think discipline is optional. Listen, ain't nothing cute about inconsistency. You have to really know that routine and ritual and kind of cycles of learning, testing, building need to be in place for you to get any results. Systems need to be in place for execution for you to get results. And that'll keep you from jumping from thing to thing when you're really disciplined about the routines, the processes that you use to execute your project plans, your strategic initiative plans. Really be in a habit of following routines and systems to get your strategic plans implemented. That that's intentionality. You got to have project plans. You have to have team meetings. You have to have structures for review and structures for um, what do you call it? We have what we call start, stop, continue in Sistahbiz, where we look and see how's it going and what can we improve before we move on to something else. And so, sort of like a infrastructure that really allows for piloting whatever it is you're doing in the business. Number six is you mistake movement for progress. Child, I think it was Denzel that said that. And I really think that's important. Like, just because you're busy doesn't mean you're productive. Just because you're moving and getting things done doesn't mean you're going somewhere. A lot of y'all are on that hamster wheel. And it's really important to make sure that every action in the business that you're taking on a day-to-day basis plugs back into the strategic plan that you're building. Number seven is you let comparison be the boss. Child, it is, I can't tell you how many times I've worked with business owners where we are all the way in, we're locked in. We came up with the core strategies, and those strategies didn't come lightly. Like, we looked at data, we studied research, we did all the things, and then we locked in on a game plan that was in alignment with everything that we had analyzed and put in front of us. And then as soon as they step outside the door, they see somebody else doing something, and all of a sudden they're on a new path. And so you saw somebody else launch something new, and suddenly your whole strategy is in the trash. And so I really think it's important to be mindful about the pressure to up and do what others are doing, and know that, everybody has a perspective, everybody has an approach. There's 100 different ways to get up the mountain, but the issue is that you're not going straight up the mountain. You keep jumping from pathway to pathway, and that's slowing you down. And so you really want to get in the lane and keep your momentum going. And so those are the seven things I see. And I just want you to know that when those behaviors are at play in your business and in your CEO strategy and movement, what it means is you're breaking momentum. You're not able to build the type of momentum that you want in order to see accelerated growth, in order to see even steady progress. You're really kind of blocking your progress and your movement in the business whenever you change strategy. You're essentially starting over again. Now, when you start over again, then you have to build momentum again. But when momentum is going, that's where you see that acceleration from the continuity, from the consistency. And so you just want to think about that and just make sure that you're being cognizant of, am I pivoting because I am participating in a cycle of learning that has showed me that this particular strategy deserves a pivot or a shift? Or am I pivoting because I saw something else, and I'm like tired of waiting for this particular strategy to work, and so I jumped to the other thing I saw? Really think about that, and think about what's distracting you from executing your existing plan. And also just make sure you have a plan you believe in. Make sure you have a plan that you really believe in so that you will stick to it. And so if you don't leave the room and your game plan is like, you don't feel like it's fire, then that's the wrong game plan. You have to really deeply believe that everything you poured into the plan makes it the plan. It's the pathway. It is the way you're going to get there, and nothing's going to deter you. You have to feel that kind of way about your game plan. All right, so speaking of game plans, if you need help locking in your plan and blocking out the distractions, then you want to check out Sistahbiz, because our coaches, our membership, our labs, as I said earlier, our work groups, that's what we're all about. So check the link in the description for our membership link and check us out. In the meantime, make sure that if this video resonated with you, that you like and subscribe and pass it on to another sister who could benefit. All right.